Sometime today, you're going to walk into a room full of people, and for a few seconds you'll feel it. Every eye in the room turning to you. They see your face, your clothes, the way you walk. It feels like a spotlight just snapped on, and you're standing dead center. Here's the truth. That spotlight isn't real. Almost nobody is watching you. And we don't just think that. We proved it. Because in 1999, a psychologist made students wear the most embarrassing t-shirt imaginable. And what he found will change how you walk into every room for the rest of your life. His name was Thomas Gilovich, a psychologist at Cornell. He wanted to put a number on something nobody had measured. How visible we feel versus how visible we actually are. So he built an experiment that was almost cruel. He handed a student a t-shirt with a giant photo on the front. The most embarrassing, uncool face you could put on a shirt. On a 1990s college campus, that shirt was social poison. Painfully uncool. Exactly the point. The student put it on and walked into a room where a few others were already sitting. They sat down. A minute later, the researchers pulled them back out and asked one question. How many people noticed your shirt? The student was sure. They'd felt every eye land on it. On average, they guessed half the room. Then Gilovich asked the people actually in the room. The real number? Under 25%. Most barely registered it. Some didn't even remember anyone walking in. They felt twice as visible as they were. But here's where it gets stranger. Gilovich thought maybe it was just embarrassment, so he ran it again with shirts students were proud of. Famous icons, people they admired, same result. Then with no shirts at all, group conversations, rating how much the room noticed their best and worst lines, same result, every single time. Good or bad, embarrassing or impressive, people believed the spotlight on them was twice as bright as it really was. They named it the spotlight effect. So why does your brain lie to you like this? It comes down to a glitch called anchoring. You live your whole life from one seat. Your own. You feel your own heartbeat. You see every flaw in the mirror. You hear your own voice crack, and it sounds deafening to you. So when you guess how much someone else noticed, you start from your own experience at full volume and try to turn it down for them, but you never turn it down enough. You're anchored to your own self-awareness. You know exactly how embarrassed you felt, so you assume it's radiating off you like heat, but it isn't going anywhere. It stays locked in your head. And once you see that, you realize you do the exact same thing to everyone else. Think about the last stranger you stood next to in an elevator. What were they wearing? What color were their shoes? You have no idea. You were thinking about your day, your phone, the email you forgot to send. But that stranger might have spent 10 minutes picking that outfit, panicking about a tiny spot on their chin, certain everyone would see it. And you notice none of it. In your movie, you're the star, and they're just background. Now flip it. To every stranger you've ever passed, you were the background. A whole planet of people convinced they're being watched, each barely noticing anyone else. But that raises a bigger question. Why would your brain be built this badly in the first place? It wasn't a mistake. For almost all of human history, we lived in tiny tribes. 50 people, maybe 150. And in a group that small, your reputation was survival. If the tribe decided you were weak, or strange, or embarrassing, you could be pushed out, away from the group, away from the fire, away from safety. So your brain learned to assume everyone was watching, because being wrong could get you killed. The problem? You don't live in a tribe of 150 anymore. You pass more strangers in one trip to the store than your ancestors met in a lifetime. But your brain never got the update. It's still running 30,000-year-old software, still screaming that everyone's watching. And there's one more layer, the deepest one. Gilovich teamed up with another psychologist, Kenneth Savitsky, and found a sister effect, the illusion of transparency, the belief that your feelings are written all over your face, that the interviewer can see your panic. So they tested it. They had people give speeches while nervous, then asked how obvious their anxiety was. The speakers were certain they looked like a wreck. The audience barely noticed. Your inner world is far more hidden than you think. The racing heart, the burning ears, none of it shows the way you feel it does. And here's the part that's actually useful. In 2003, Savitsky and Gilovich ran one more study. Before a group gave speeches, they simply told half of them about this effect. That group didn't just feel calmer. They performed better and got rated as more confident. Just knowing the spotlight was fake made them better at the thing they feared. So think about what this has quietly cost you. Every hand you didn't raise, every question you swallowed, every room you walked into already performing, all of it managing an audience that was barely there. That awkward thing you said, they forgot it by dinner. Too busy replaying the awkward thing they said to someone else. The spotlight was never real. And if the spotlight isn't real, neither is the stage. So you can stop performing. Ask the question. Wear the shirt you actually like. Try the thing you might fail at, because the audience for your failure is so much smaller than your brain swears. Next time you feel every eye in the room snap to you, remember, they're not looking at you. They're too busy worrying about who's looking at them. So tell me, what's the one cringe moment you still replay that everyone else forgot about years ago? Drop it below. There's a new hidden force breaking your brain every week. I'll see you in the next one.